Welcome back, everybody. Hot Mic rolls on a Thursday morning. Jordan Collins will join us coming up in hour 2. NDSU women's basketball head coach. Bison play Kansas City tonight as the regular season wraps up in the Summit. The postseason is already underway in the NSIC. The first-round games were held last night on campus sites. Minot State's ridiculous year continues. The Beavers knocked off Sioux Falls 81-56 to get a date in Sioux Falls against Concordia St. Paul, the number 1 seed in the NSIC men's basketball bracket. Great to see our friend Matt Murken, head coach at Minot State, back with us. You know, you were with me a couple years ago when it was a big deal for you guys to make it to Sioux Falls. I know it's expectation level now, but this year, this league, we talked about it. I have Bergstrasser on the show. You and I have talked about it. This is a buzzsaw of a league, man. So you got to be just jazzed you're still alive.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I was kind of thinking about that as well. I think 3 years ago, I don't remember if you talked to me when I was on the bus when we had that wild snowstorm and we were like we had to go on the road that time and win. And but we've 3 straight years now. We've been to the Pentagon and kind of, like you said, it's just kind of reflecting. Last night, I had a lot of former players checking back in, and we actually set the most wins ever in 100 years of basketball at Minot State. The record for that was 24 last night. So, you know, and a lot of guys checking in on that. It's been cool to see a lot of alumni back from all over the state from all different eras.
That's awesome.
But we kind of reflect on that, man. You kind of raise the expectation level here, and we're 3rd straight time down there and battling again for an NCAA tournament berth. But like you said, it's just the NSIC this year. It's, you know, usually like last year we had the national champ, and they kind of, and even MSUM was top. I mean, they're number 1 at 1.2. So you have these teams that are like 28-4, and a couple teams way up there. And this year it's more, I don't know if we have a top team. We might, because they're so battle tested. Somebody's probably going to go on a run for us. Or if you ruin our region, you got a chance to win the whole thing.
Right.
But man, from like 1 through 8 at least in our league is really, really good. And you know you're in for a battle on any given night, 1 through 8. So that's made it pretty frustrating at times, but also a lot of fun. And you know, I won't trade it for anything to be battling against great teams every night.
You know, we talked before Christmas, and then after that, you guys lost 5 of 6. But again, you're in your own league, which, you know, we're talking about it, how much of a grind it is. Were you worried about things then, or just like, okay, we got to steady things here by the time we get to February?
Yeah, you know, it's just and a little bit, you know, it depends on, you know, there's ups and downs of every season. You're going to play, everybody plays their best at some point in time during the year, and everybody plays their worst at some point in time. You know, that's a fact of every season, and there's kind of ebbs and flows of that. And, you know, we ran into a stretch where we got on the road a lot there right after break. I think we were, you know, 2 straight long road trips, and we didn't play our best. And man, we've been dynamite at home, and we've had great home crowds. We got up to a slow start home attendance wise because we had a snowstorm. We had to change around a non-conference game and all that. But, you know, I think like our last 13 games were over 1,000 people per game.
Wow.
And great crowds.
That's fantastic.
And, you know, ended up like 14-1 at home or something like that. But we had a road stretch. We went 1-3 on the road and kind of righted the ship a little bit. And then had another 3-game road trip, and we lost all 3 of those. So, you know, there's so many good teams, and you're looking in going, man, we're going to go on the road and have to battle it. And, you know, the good thing is we probably won't play a road game again. We'll play a lot of neutral sites from here on out. But it's a tough one every single night in this league. And again, like I said, that's what makes it fun. And, you know, and every night's a battle.
So now it's Concordia St. Paul. You played them, you beat them earlier this year, and it seems like everybody beat everybody. So,
right.
but that was a while ago, Matt. Do you look at that, or is that too long ago for you to bank on for Saturday?
Yeah, you know, we got to look at it for sure and take some things from that and make some adjustments. And, you know, it was early on, actually over the summer sometime, Coach Fletch and I were talking, and we said, hey, we only played once this year. You know, the way the schedule is, let's meet. We actually met in Fargo and scrimmaged.
No kidding.
Yeah, in early October. Yeah, I had a battle over at Concordia Moorhead. And we came out of that, and we kind of looked at each other and we said, I think we're both better than people think we are. You know, it was so that was a battle, and we had a battle here with them. We were able to kind of control possessions and you know, have some long possessions and stretch it out late. And but again, it's going to be a battle with them again. And like you said, that's everybody's beat everybody, it seems like. So you know, it'll come down to who's playing the best basketball, who's defending and rebounding on Saturday afternoon, I'm sure.
I know for people that follow your team, they know them quite intimately. For people that are getting their first look at your squad, tell me about your big guy, how you got him, and what what kind of impact has he left with your squad?
Yeah, Caleb Vandergrind, he's got a great story. I'll lead it off with this. He's scored more points in his season than anybody in 100 years of Minot State basketball,
Wow.
more rebounds. We had a guy named Tyler Rudolph who had a great career
He was really
professionally
good
in Australia.
Yeah, he was really good.
Really, really good. Player for us that got paid to play basketball for a long time after he and he beat all of his records this year for rebounding, points, all that stuff. So it's an interesting story. He was born in the United States. He's got ties to Iowa, where I'm from, is where his family's from. His mom's Australian. They moved back to Australia, played basketball there. A buddy of mine in Australia and Western Australia that's even a little bit under recruited. We get in touch, and he sent me the screenshot of his text 3 years ago just to remind me that he was right. And it said, "You're going to think I'm crazy, but I think this kid could lead D2 in rebounding."
Wow.
And I didn't think he was crazy, but I thought the kid had a lot of upside because he said, he's just going to do whatever you tell him. He's going to work hard. He's going to believe you, and he just works. And that's what Caleb's done. He's a off the bench for us the last 2 years, and we were kind of sitting around at the start of the season. Jacob Sobolik, our GA, former Dragon from over that way. He was kind of joking, if he keeps up his points per 40 minutes, he'd have a chance to be player of the year and an All-American. And that's about what he's done.
Yeah, right.
He's just relentless. He plays hard. And he's just he's got the best mentality that you can have. He's never too far up or too down. And, I asked him something about, going to a game once, and he goes, "I don't really worry about anything. I just figure if I can get 4 or 5 offensive rebounds, I can score 4 or 5 baskets." So we'll keep doing that. You've been doing a lot more than that, but he's the most humble guy. And when your best player is he just can't believe how good our other players are. He doesn't realize he's the best one of all of them. It's unbelievable. And now his parents and most of his family's moved back from Australia, and they're living in Iowa now. So we see them a lot. So it's just kind of a cool story how he found him, how much he's improved, and how good of a player he is right now.
You and I have visited. I remember when I was out at the state basketball tournament, you joined me about this steady incline about we're trying to make an impact. And now you've won 24 games, Matt. That how many more doors you think are open recruiting wise because of the success that you've banked now over the last 3 to 4 years?
Yeah, there's no doubt it helps. You got to win. We try to recruit kids that win games and kids that win in high school or junior college usually want to go somewhere and keep winning because it's kind of contagious that way. And it's a different mindset when you're a winner. All the way through, you don't care as much about personal stats. You're just trying to go keep winning and do your job. And, there's expectations, and we love to recruit those type of kids. So I think that's helped us. But, the other thing is just when people get around the young men in our program, they love it. They're first-class guys. We had a 3.41 GPA this year, which is off the charts good.
Really good.
Just, good people that are good players, man. That makes it fun to coach. And, I have fun every day being around them. And other than I kind of was joking with you, other than I think 12 days where I was sidelined with back surgery this year, that wasn't fun. And I wasn't around them as much as I wanted to. I wasn't getting out of bed much there for a while. But,
oh, man.
It's fun every day to be around that team. That's for sure.
Did you put it off or it was emergency? Hey, I need this. I can't move.
I'm not smart. I was putting it off and got a cortisone shot on New Year's Eve.
Oh,
to try to hold it off throughout the end of the season. And then I woke up February 1st. Talked to my wife. I said, my wife's name's Chelsea. I said, "Chelsea, we got a real problem here. You might have to drive me to the Northern State game and roll me over to the bench so I can sit down because I can't move here." And I had surgery.
My gosh.
11 days later, I think I had surgery.
Wow.
Shout out to Bismarck Surgical Associates. Dr. Kralik down in Bismarck, man, hooked me up. Took care of me really well, and I'm on back up and about now. So
you're doing okay now.
I got a technical foul though because I was so injured I couldn't stand up. So then, but miraculously, a boost of adrenaline came when I thought there was a missed call, and I jumped up off the bench. And I said, that's a foul, but I was so aggressive.
The way you said it, the way you said it.
Yeah, it was too demonstrative and got teed up at one of those games. So
that's awesome. Yeah. That's a great story. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. 2 last things before I let you go. We always say in the media about, well, it's a wide open event. The 8 teams that are there, I really believe this. You're in it. Can all 8 of them win this thing?
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. Like you said, cliche, and people talk about that, but man, I mean, it's kind of a fun way to look at it. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this or not, but like our league is so good, and the people that are involved with it know it. But like, and we all know it as coaches. I don't know we say it that much, but like the amount of times I'll talk to like I'm on the phone with an A10 team or like Summit League team or whoever else, and I'm saying, hey, you guys want an exhibition? And they just laugh.
Yeah.
And they're just, yeah, why would we do that to ourselves? And it's the same. I'm not saying that's a Minot State thing. That's that's a Northern Sun thing.
Yep.
And the amount of Division I coaches that call and say, hey, I got a call. I hate to do this. This is how basketball is now, but who in your league do we need to get involved with? All the guys in your league, they go to leagues and they put up the same stats or they put up more stats, and, love it or hate it. That's part of basketball now. And we got guys moving on, and, Jackson was having a great year
Yep.
until he got injured, over there, and similar type stats. And there's a lot of good players, and some guys stick around and keep kicking butt and keep, setting records and enjoy winning, and other guys move on to somewhere else and try new things. And that's, but man, it just shows how good the players are. And everybody's got guys. All the teams that are left have guys like that no doubt could make an impact, at a higher level. And that's and good players. And then even more so than that, probably even more so than like the low major leagues, we have great coaches that stick around in our league.
Yes.
I mean, there's
Yep.
there's good, really good coaches, really good assistant coaches there's guys that I'm just trying not to get, embarrassed by the guys I'm going against every day, because there's so many tweaks and little things. So it makes it fun. It really does. And man, what a great league. Most people that come out and every time they know that. And the Pentagon puts on a great event.
Yes.
Shout out to the NSIC. If you've been at that tournament, it's a great experience. I mean, they just do first class. One of the best, it's better than most tournaments in the country, whatever, regardless of what level. We have an engagement. We leave today in about 2 hours because we got to get down there tonight, because tomorrow morning we're in a school doing a community service, and they're putting on a basketball clinic and all this stuff.
Nice.
So
That's
good
awesome.
experience for our guys, giving back to the community. Top flight event by the NSIC office and top flight teams as well. So
Beavers will play Concordia St. Paul Saturday at 4:30 on that. I've said it long before you were on the show. There's more than a handful of teams that go right in the Summit League and win a heck of a lot of ball games. I believe that. I'm not saying that because you're on the show with me. I know it. I could see it happening firsthand on that. Before we go, since we're in the middle of spring training, Cardinals over under 85 wins this year. What do you got?
Oh man, you're putting me on the spot. I got to go under, unfortunately.
Oh wow.
We're letting the young guys play this year, man. We're going to find out if their prospects can play or what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Spring training, man, it's great. I've had the games on the radio. There's nothing like listening to baseball on
No,
the radio.
yeah,
I don't even watch it
absolutely
a lot of times. A lot of us grew up doing that. Where I was at, we're in the middle of everybody, but Camo X from St. Louis and Jack Buck was on the air every night.
Awesome.
And, I got that on in my room, and oh man, there's something to be said for being a baseball fan and a storyteller and all that stuff that goes on with the game of baseball, man. That's just, I played baseball in college as well as a two-sport guy, and man, going from basketball, from being intense all the time and going around, to playing in shortstop with my brother playing second base, and look over and he's eating Doritos, and I'm trying to get some Doritos for him to eat on the infield. And it's a different pace, but man, what a great game. What a great game.
That's fantastic. Wait, who's good in the Central this year? I mean, the Cubs are going to be okay.
Well,
that's
why I almost went over. That's why I almost went over. It's the Central. Breeds mediocrity a little bit.
That
lately.
is true. That is true. It's great to see you, bud. Safe travels to Sioux Falls. Good luck on Saturday, okay?
Awesome, man. Appreciate everything you do. Thanks for having me on.
Good to see you. There he goes. Matt Murken, head coach, Minot State men's basketball team, 24 wins. Shout out to them for what has been a dynamite year. And is it enough to get into the NCAA basketball tournament? Right now, they're ranked 8th in the latest regional rankings that came out yesterday. A win Saturday would certainly, I think, cement it. The Dragons are in. St. Paul's, there's only 8 teams that make it out of the region. It's going to be somebody upset that they're left out. Duluth didn't help themselves by losing last night. Augustana knocked them off, as you saw in the bracket. So Augie will match up with the Dragons coming up. That's the game Sunday night from Sioux Falls. We'll break. We'll wrap up our first hour. Jory Collins on deck as well on a busy Thursday show that rolls on. We're back on Hot Mic.